In this video, we're going to hop inside of one of my Mars save and quit matches that I currently am on 50 plus on in hopes of showing you guys the strategy I've been using to get to high rounds, kind of share some tips, advice, just a little bit of things. Although this map is extremely hard, this isn't an easy map to high round. It certainly isn't an easy map for most beginners. But before we do get into our game, we need to get into our augments. So the only important things that I would kind of recommend, one is being elemental pop, using Vulnera Bean, Citrus Focus, as well as Chillberry. We're going to be using Fireworks, which we'll get into that augment very, very soon. Now, we obviously have Deadshot Daiquiri, Double Tap, not really a big thing, but for the most important thing for us as well is Vulture's Aid. Now, I love using Armormatic. It automatically equips our armor. Very good augment. Sometimes it can be a little bit bad, but I like to not have to do that myself. It just kind of helps me a little bit. Now, we also use Picky Eater as well as Carry-On Luggage, which Carry-On Luggage is an interesting one. It doesn't really help us in our strategy because we use the arrow launcher, but it could help you, right? Now, I like using Vulture Aid because it drops launcher ammo quite a bit, so it kind of helps me throughout my rounds to kind of replenish ammo without having to go spend 5k twice or 3 times a round as well. Now, Speed Cola, you can kind of really use whatever you want. I like using Supercharge because it kind of helps my toxic growth, which is very, very important. And then reloading has a chance to not use stock ammo and then deploy equipment faster. I like using that. Juggernog, I also like to use Turtle Shell, which I'm kind of leaning off of for Mars Survival. I kind of want to use Probiotic or Iron Core. I don't know. Reactive Armor might be really, really useful as well, but Probiotic gives you an extra 50 HP, so that does help a ton. Hard-earned Plates is really, really good, and Durable Plates, that's kind of what I rock for Juggernog. Now, Ammo Mod's the only one specifically we're going to cover as our Fireworks Ammo Mod. I like to use Starburst as well as High Yield and Short Fuse. That's for that. Build upgrades, most important thing of the strategy is going to be Toxic Growth with the Cordyception as well as Green Thumb and Ankle Shredder. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, some of you guys are going to be in your event and you're going to have to get to 100 plus to get first place, right? Me personally, I don't really care about first place. I just care if I stay in 5th place because I want the animated camo, okay? Some of you guys out there are going to be able to get to round 50 and stay in first place. It's random. I would recommend not playing Mars Survival till the very last day of the event. You're going to get an easier leaderboards, and you're going to be able to get first place way easier than somebody who starts on day 1. But it's really just dependent on where the game puts you, right? It truly is. Again, I struggle to get to 70, 80 plus on this map. It's definitely one of those. So currently I went to 64, and that's where I'm at. I'm at first place, 56. 5th place is 47. So as long as I stay ahead of him, I'll be fine. But without further ado, without wasting any more of your guys' time, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the strategy. Want to unlock all new mastery camos like Singularity ASAP? Check out Mitch Cactus, the biggest and the most reliable name in Call of Duty. They offer instant delivery DLC codes like Monster Energy, plus lobbies delivered in under an hour. Everything is 100% safe and legit for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Trusted by the community and seen all over YouTube, Mitch Cactus has over 20,000 verified reviews and thousands of personal vouchers. Make them the go-to for all things Call of Duty and even other games like Battlefield 6. Use code SPAZO to save 5% off for a limited time only. So we're currently joining into one of our save games. We are on round 53 currently in this match. Now, my plan for this video was to show you guys Mars, past round 50, show you guys what I am doing to easily go through these rounds to easily get the first spot inside of the Astra event. Now, I have a War Machine. You need to have the War Machine for the strategy. I have the legendary triple pack arrow launcher. I have toxic growth with our augment set up. Now, I kept telling you guys to sit on that right side, but to be fair, the left side is so much better. It just truly is, right? And we're just going to sit up on this railing. Now, after round 40, you're going to have a ton of cores spawn in every round, or actually it's kind of just more like one. Now, you can either have decoys or Casimirs. Whenever you have, what's his name? Uberklaus, where is he? Is he here, or is it just a core? I think it might just be a core, to be honest. I don't really know where it went. It should be somewhere around here. We can just drop down and throw another decoy. So you're definitely going to want to take advantage of your whole decoy situation inside of the game. You're going to get them dropped a lot, especially with Vulture Aid. Obviously, in the intro of the video, we kind of went over a ton of our augments. But sitting on this left side just seems to kind of flow a little bit easier, to be fair with you guys, rather than the right side. So when you are here, and we're obviously going to go through quite a bit of rounds because I'm trying to get number 1 inside of this event, and currently I am in number 1, but I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do to easily take down the elites, to like easily farm these rounds. And I know this map is annoying and it's hard because of Uberklaus, but if you do this method that I do, you're not really going to struggle. Now, whenever I have these cores spawn in, I got the Mark II. Dude, it kills them like butter, okay? I would get the Mark II and just use it for those cores. If you use, say, the launcher, it's a 3-shot, right, to kill them with the launcher. But the Mark II definitely shreds them. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, bro, get the LGM. To be honest, I'm not going to lie, I have yet to be able to get the LGM, right? But thinking of the LGM, I don't think it's going to be as good. Okay, so we're just going to keep sitting on this rail. Now, whenever we're on this rail, the moment we get an Uberklaus, he's only going to spawn back there. Okay, now obviously the cores are a bit different. They spawn randomly. So we're just going to take our Mark II. Now, that happens. Okay, you need to be careful. You need to have decoys. Don't just randomly throw your decoys anywhere you think, right? It just isn't smart. Make sure you wait till if you get hit down by the core, you can throw your decoy to get back up to the strategy. That's kind of what I've been doing. I've been just rinsing and repeating. And yes, you can get Casimirs. They're a little bit harder to keep stacked up of. Whereas decoys, you can get them constantly. And I mean constantly, right? So we're just going to keep sitting here with our Toxic Growth. Of course, we got our triple pack. We got all that good stuff. We have the core right here. We're going to pull out our Mark II. Okay, our Toxic Growth is gone. We can just drop down. No big deal. We actually went a little bit low on health, whereas I don't really like that. But now we just kind of threw our decoy, of course. We're going to run back up here. If you do need to throw another one, throw another one. It's really no big deal. You get so many of them. It's genuinely too easy. Really. It really is too easy because of how many decoys you actually get. The nice thing about the arrow launcher is you might be like, damn, Spazo, you got to buy so much ammo with the arrow launcher. Not technically. With Vulture's Aid, I get pretty much most of my rounds ammo dropped to me, right? Which is a massive deal. That is a massive help in the game, right? You don't have to run to the ammo crate. You don't have to spend your essence, especially when times are tough and you're triple packing guns and doing all this, right? Now, usually at the end of the round, no matter what, I go refill up. Even if I have like 8 rockets left, I go fill up. I just go spend the 5K, get that done, right? But hopefully next round we can have an Uberklaus spawn in. That way I can show you guys kind of what I do. We'll see. We'll hear him if he does. Yep. Okay, we got an Uberklaus. So we're just going to throw a decoy down. We're just going to take our war machine, and there we go. He's instant killed. Just like that. Okay. We are now going to throw another decoy, take down the core, and then whatever other cores you got right in your game, you're just going to want to take down with the Mark II. We can go back up here. This is really what our decoys are going to be for. When we fall down and when an Uberklaus spawns in. As you guys just witnessed how easy that is, right? And anybody can get a war machine in the game. It's just like 2,250 salvage. So if you're going to be going to high rounds, you're going to be able to stack up for it. We almost just went down again. You really got to pay attention to your Toxic Growth. We already had our Toxic Growth broke, but we literally just rejoined a save. So I'm sure you guys know how it is when you rejoin a save. You're rusty for a minute before you kind of get the hang of everything once again. But we almost have our Toxic Growth. I'm not really worried. We can shoot our launcher again. We can fall back once more. We can hop up here. We can throw a decoy. And then we can chill. We can actually pop this power keg. Usually, for the most part, you kind of say get your field upgrade and then you get it pretty much back. You don't really have to wait. And the nice thing about anti-gravity is, of course, it slows everything down for you. So say if you kind of need a moment where you can kind of set up a little bit better, or you can kind of get some things going, right? That kind of gives you the opportunity to do that. We can shoot that. We have anti-gravity right now. We have another core, so we definitely got to be careful. But again, it's okay. You just kind of got to learn the map a little bit. Let me see. There's the core. We can just use our launcher real quick and then just come back to our strategy. So every round you're going to be dealing with the core. You just are. You frankly, that's part of the strategy. Okay, we just got res. There we go. Okay, we can go back over here. We can drop back down. Anti-gravity sometimes just pisses me off. We can throw another decoy on the ground. You truly get so many, dude. It's such a foolish move to not use them. I need plates. We can just do that real quick. There we go. We can just walk right back up here. Alright, we can chill now. We have more plates on the ground. We got another decoy right there. And usually for the most part, you're going to kind of have yourself able to, say for example, replenish everything that you use. So like you can have multiple decoys thrown out real fast and then you get them right back on the ground. It really is a simple strategy. Yeah, some rounds they're a little bit harder than others, right? There's no doubt about that. But for the most part, the hardest survival map can be fairly simple if you just follow the strategy that I'm kind of doing. Right? With the same things that I kind of have going on. We can shoot that. We have no Uber Klaus this round. You're going to have a core every round, okay? Every single round you're having a core. So you need to expect that every single round you go into. We can drop back down. We can kind of run around. And you can always use your war machine as well. We're just basically kind of creating a route back up top there. You can say train out here for a second if you wanted to just kind of group up some more of the zombies. It's really not a big deal. We now have anti-gravity. Usually every round this is active. I'm looking for the core right now. I cannot seem to find him. Of course, he disappears when we start running around. There we go. We can pop another one so we can have another charmed zombie. No, we can just keep sitting right here. We can shoot. He's probably going to show himself very, very soon. So we can reload our launcher, shoot that again, and just keep chilling. Where is the core? There he is. Here we go. Nice, he's dead. Okay, we can reload this. And just like that, we took the core down with ease. You just got to make sure you have that toxic growth in front of you. There's a ton of ammo up here. I'm trying to move my screen to get it and pick it up. Also, use your semtexes, you know, kind of use things like that. That will help you. Of course. And again, Casimirs are really, really good if you want to use them. But the problem with Casimirs is they're just so rare to get all the time. So that's kind of why I'm like, you can get them, but I wouldn't really count on them. Not as much as you can say count on decoys. It's just something I wouldn't necessarily do. It's just kind of a fool's move. There we go. We got another core. There we go. Nice. Okay. That should be the end of that round. We can go grab some more ammo. It's a Ravager round. Nice. We can just hop back up here. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting map. It's definitely hard, okay? It isn't easy to get to 100 plus on this map. It just isn't, right? Especially for people who maybe aren't used to the challenge or who maybe are new to the zombies mode, right? It just isn't easy. But once you play your first few games, you're gonna find it simple if you just follow the strategy, of course. And what is the strategy, Spazo? We're sitting up here with the arrow launcher behind toxic growth on the left side. Whenever Uberklaus spawns in, we turn with our war machine and shoot him in that window. That is the strategy. And then we just use our decoys to work around the cores and stuff like that. You got to be kidding me. Holy moly. Let me throw a decoy. Okay, we can just jump right here. And there we go. He's insta-killed. We can throw another decoy to get rid of this core before he annoys me to death. There we go. What is that, a nuke? We can grab that. Never mind, we ain't grabbing it. There we go. Whatever we got to do to get through our round is what we're going to do. Now, I definitely understand that, say, getting the Mark II can be challenging, and it can be hard, but it's not as rare as the LGM. The LGM is extremely rare to get. Okay, we missed a few shots right there. There we go. Throw another decoy. Again, you get them so often that it is not hard to kind of spam it a little bit. Although that one didn't really trigger. It's okay. I'm not worried. Even with insta-kill, dude, I'm using my launcher. I'm not really messing around. I'm not really playing around with my regular gun. We're trying to get to high rounds. We're not trying to get to, you know, low rounds. We're trying to stay alive as long as possible, keep our self-revives as long as possible. Things like that. We can pop our toxic growth. We can reload this launcher. Got a little bit of seconds left with our insta-kill to end off round 58. There we go. But this has been the strategy I've been running to kind of make it a lot easier on myself. Because let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, Mars is not in a good spot right now because of how hard Uberklaus is. It just isn't an easy map to play. It truly isn't. A regular gun is not taking him down. You're not running around like you did in Black Ops 6 taking him down with a regular weapon. It just is not happening. And it is a big problem with this map, but we have to be able to get past that for us to get to first place inside of this event. Because, boy, I want the camo. I know you guys want the camo. Everybody wants the camo. Everybody wants to compete for it. There's a shields up. Nice. What do we got? And you can even use the core, bro, or you can even use the war machine, dude, to take down the core, right? You're just gonna have to buy it, right? But I mean, is that a big deal to you? Maybe, maybe it isn't. I don't really know your situation in your game or how you feel about it, but it might not be that big of a deal to you. There we go. We're out of our war machine. Sometimes it kind of sucks having mule kick, I'm not gonna lie, because you constantly got to fight with your third weapon. We can just drop down. It's anti-gravity right now, so we can kind of chill for a second. A little bit more damage. He's in self-explode mode or whatever it is called. We got a decent amount of ammo. Plus, Klaus drops ammo. Cores drop ammo, so you always can count on that as well for your arrow launcher. We can just keep chilling. I got to use some plates. I don't have any plates right now. That's a problem we keep facing right this second. Throw that. We can jump over here. Here's some. I don't have toxic growth. Okay. The war machine is still bugged, by the way. You can't necessarily reload it. You have to drop it just for it to, like, reload the 6 shots you have left. So if you can do that before you buy a new one, because that's literally 2 more Uber Klauses you can kill in your game. Oh, here we go. We can train these guys around a little bit. Take them down. Another core. We can just drop down here. Always try to grab that ledge. It'll kind of stop some of your fall damage. Just a little tip. Where is this core? I don't like how he keeps disappearing whenever we drop down here. He's over there. Okay. We need to try and get our toxic growth. There we go. There we go. We just got to watch out for him. We only have a few zombies left. Where did he go now? Yeah, that is an annoying feature in this map for sure. The whole core ordeal. But you just want to take him down. I mean, there's nothing you can do. So you just kind of got to find the easiest method to do it. And to me, it is the Mark II. So we got to kill him to end the round. Let's take a moment. Let's just buy the cheapest streak there is. Which, crossbow, right? And then we can pick that back up. So we'll have a crossbow over here. I would kind of recommend just keeping it on the ground. Wouldn't necessarily recommend like, hey man, use this, right? But, yeah, I mean, do what you want, of course. Okay. And you can always turn the Rampage Inducer off as well. It's going to make your game a little bit easier than mine. I mean, for real. You don't have to have the Rampage Inducer on. There we go. Oh, self-defect. Oh, hello, Uber. There we go. We can just come back over here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We can just sit right here, pop back on the wall, go back over here, go back on the wall, drop back down. Just to kind of slowly get everything moving. There we go. We just got to take these cores down. Where is my ray gun? Here it is. There we go. Thank you, Deadshot, for actually activating. Holy moly. I just got so much damage dealt to me. Come on, anti-gravity. Chill. Let me throw these nades. Throw it. Okay. Back with our launcher. We got 1 rocket. There we go. Okay, we can swap back to it. Come on, toxic growth. You're really lacking right this second. Holy moly. We can pull out our war machine. There we go. Full power. Remember, sliding into zombies also stops them. So you always can do that. Bro, I don't want the ray gun right this second. I want my launcher. We do have a decoy, so we can throw that on the ground. And to disguise some of these zombies. There we go. Throw a nade. Throw another nade. Use everything, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this game I'll easily be able to hit 100. Easily. I mean, the strategy is simple once you kind of get it down. Yeah, sometimes it can get a little bit challenging in certain rounds when you run out of ammo or something goes wrong in your game and you got to do something else. It can get challenging. I'm not I'm not knocking that. But it definitely is the easiest method that I've been doing to get to higher rounds inside of survival on Mars, for sure. We can even activate another toxic growth right there. That'll just help me even more. We can just keep chilling right here and just keep using our launcher. We got a decent amount of rockets. We obviously got our core. Any Ubers? I think it's just a core. There's an insta. Jeesh. So much damage. Bro, jump on the ledge. Holy moly. Okay. We got that. Let's throw some nades. We can swap back to our launcher. We can just easily do this. Got 12 seconds left of that. Trying to just go through this round as easy as possible. I always try to jump because you can kind of see where all the zombies are and kind of shoot in that direction. So you want to shoot over there that time. Things like that. And you can always use the trick I was just doing where you kind of run over here and then you run back over here. It does help a little bit. Also, if you want to run the stamina up augment that you kind of stop fall damage, it can be very useful for this map. I will say that. I don't currently have that on. I'm not going to lie, but it can definitely be a nice augment for you if you want to use that in your game. There we go. And there's another shot. And there goes that round. Here's a sentry turret. Ooh, Ravager round. We pray for times like these because it's literally a free round. Literally. What I need to do is I actually need to get, say, a ammo mod on this. I think fireworks would be efficient. For sure. I mean, if it even activates with launchers, I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. But we're not really using our launcher to fight, what's his name? Uber Klaus. So we don't really need Frost Blast or nothing. Yeah, we can just keep chilling. Keep shooting this as much as possible. But yeah, fireworks is going to help us for sure. Keep coming, Ravagers. Okay, this round's almost over. Nice. Last few are up here. There's none back there. Okay, there is our max. Love to see it. Good old health cap, Black Ops 7 zombies. We're past health cap. Health cap's 55. Decoy. I completely missed like so many shots right there. I'm so buns. It's okay if you guys want to tell me I'm trash. There we go. Where's the other fella? Get out of here. Get out of my round. Quit making my life harder. Throw that. So we're just using our decoys as ways to get through. You always could say use your ether shroud or stuff like that, but I would just really prefer you use toxic growth. We got another Uber. And we're out of artillery, we'll call it. There's fireworks. Well, we're not technically out of artillery. Because... Go! Bro, why wouldn't it let... What? Why wouldn't it let me, what's it called? Do what I was trying to do. That is so silly. I was trying to jump over that. There's that. There we go. Okay. We're back. We're back and we're better. We got another decoy. See, I'm not really worried about Uber Claws. As long as you keep moving, you'll be fine. Is that sentry turret is over? No, it isn't. Okay. Let me see. Shoot that. Here's anti-gravity. So now we can kind of just keep chilling. We could always just pull out our ray gun and do a little bit of damage. You're not going to do much, so don't be surprised when it takes forever to kill him. We can just keep training around. Obviously, it's best when you're on anti-gravity. Whatever my training method is, I always try to kind of, on anti-gravity, to jump up, middle, and then obviously back up. So I'll kind of come right here. I'll let the zombie stack up for a second, right? Even without toxic growth, and then we'll drop down because usually by the time we get down here, we're regenning health. So that kind of helps a little bit. We can throw a nade. Throw another nade. Throw another nade. Right now, we're just slowly wiping the rounds. Slowly but surely, we're getting rid of this rounds. And then, like, say right now, we can pull out our ray gun. I don't have it. Where is my ray gun? It's up top. Oh, it's right there on the ground. Okay. See? Wish I didn't buy freaking mule kit, because I would have just not even cared about the M15. We would have just went the alternate route. We can just keep trending around here. We have so much essence. I mean, it really isn't no big deal to have to buy anything. Okay, we can drop here, pick up our Mark II, and then here comes regular. So what I need to do, funny story, is turn off the Rampage Inducer. think we agreed on that. That's making my game a little bit harder than what your game's gonna be. For real, it is. And that's nonsense. Why do that to yourself, right? Especially when you're trying to hit high rounds. We can deactivate that. And now we can just finish you. Go this way. Let me try and make a move over here. It just takes time, man. Fighting Uberklaus without, say, a war machine just takes time. There we go. There we go. All dead. All right. Love to see it. Any streaks we got? Okay, so we have this ARC. We can pick this up. And then we can pick our war machine back up. And that's going to reload it for us. So that wraps it up for this video. Let me know your guys' favorite strategy. Again, this is a hard map to play. It's not necessarily easy. You can camp a lot of your rounds, but then you also get caught in the position where you can't camp that round because of Uberklaus. And I do kind of want to have a video come out, me talking and expressing my opinion on Uberklaus, because I think as a community, we don't like him. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your strategy. Let me know your highest round inside of the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Have a good one. Peace.